the Coffee and the Company podcast.
Right, get 5, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, Michael.
Hi, good morning.
How are
Thank
you,
you
man?
for having me.
How are you, man?
Very good, very good. How are you?
Well, let's cheers with your water and with my
My
coffee.
gosh.
Yeah.
I feel so bad that I'm having water here where
It's fine, man.
I should be having coffee actually.
So long I get your ass over here, it's fine, man.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Cheers to the audience. Peace out. Yay. Awesome.
Let me just introduce a little bit about Michael. Michael, it's how many years you been barista for?
This will be
in coffee industry
15
overall.
year.
15.
15.
You started your coffee journey from Starbucks barista, right?
From Starbucks.
It was 15 years ago.
the OG.
I still remember that you were telling the story that how it makes you emotionally touched that you make coffee for people when there was a customer that having a bad day.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
So from that day onwards, you told me, I still remember this story quite clear. Until right now, you still have that and you still got your emotional trigger with that incident. Yeah,
Yes.
you mind to tell me about that story to the audience?
Yeah, for sure. So it began. So just a little bit background check for all the audience. So I'm Michael. I'm currently under or working with JWC Roastery.
Yep. You're the head of sales director.
Sales director. That's right. So basically, in a nutshell, I'm a salesman. So I'll head over to different cafes, restaurants, and then I'll approach them and then we
Supplier.
will supply, retail beans and wholesale beans solutions for cafes. So, but I never begin this journey by having the passion for coffee. Like most people nowadays, people are aware that in the coffee industry or the coffee cafe career progression, people like the lifestyle, people like having the opportunity to pour latte art. But for myself, I started with a simple goal in mind, and that is just to earn extra money so that I can go holiday in Genting Highlands.
Okay. When was that? When you're like in college or are you in high school or
I
what?
was
What is
a dropout of A level, so I never finished my A level. Was a very very rebellious kid those days. Didn't know what I want to do. Doesn't have a direction. I think most people actually we grew up in different backgrounds. So for me, I never really know what I'm good at. I know I like to talk.
Yeah.
So that was what it leads me to trying to apply a job in Starbucks because back then my sister was studying under Berjaya College
Hospitality, Berjaya Hospitality.
Berjaya
right?
Hospitality.
Yeah.
So Berjaya Hospitality is at Berjaya Times Square, and in Berjaya Times Square, so happened they have 3 Starbucks.
Yeah.
It
was 3, right?
It was one outlet and then at one building, and you have 3 Starbucks. So you have one at the third floor, first floor, and ground floor. So my sister was like, hey, you like to talk, being a barista, you can be at the counter, you can talk to however you want, and you can just do your thing. And at the same time, just need to earn extra bucks. I'm like, okay, cool, why don't we give it a try?
Were you first joined as a full-timer? or-
I joined instantly as a full-timer. Yeah, instantly. Of course, the idea is just to get the money in. That's it.
Salary, get salary.
You just get the salary. Nothing too fancy. I didn't know what I would be expecting on. So anyway, kudos to Starbucks. So a lot of people always tell me that Starbucks coffee is like it's not the best thing in the world. We have so many other options out there. But I got to give credit to Starbucks because they have, in my humble opinion, one of the most comprehensive full barista training syllabus available in the market, in the sense that they are able to train someone from zero background into someone that is capable to be at the bar alone, solo, during busy hours in less than 3 months. So that is the training that they need to be implemented. Reason being, such a big brand, you expect consistency, customers are expecting a service level. So the company realized that, they are aware of that. That's why they put a lot of emphasis on training.
Yeah.
So back to your question, I know a little bit draggy a little bit. So back to your question. So when did I discover was that there was this incident? It was early in the morning. So my manager wasn't around. She went to the bank, bang in the cash or whatever it is. So I was handling the bar alone. It was a little bit quiet that particular morning. And then this guy, he's a foreigner. I didn't manage to ask where he's from.
Yeah.
So he came in, walking into the outlet. And you know, at Starbucks, we have a SOP where everyone should
to
be
be
greeted.
greeted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
and you gotta go like, hello, hi, welcome to Starbucks, you know. So it's that. And wow, I missed that. Anyway, so when he came in, I did the same thing. Hello, hi, welcome to Starbucks. So after that, in most cases, usually customer will give a feedback, right? Like a reaction to that, like, oh, hi, kind of thing. But that particular customer, his face was so down. Like you can feel that, you know, he was just having a bad day. He couldn't smile. There's no eye contact. The first thing that he came in, he didn't look at me. He looked at, you know, where can I sit? So that particular outlet I was working at, I don't know if you can recall that in Starbucks, back in the day, there was this bookstore called
Borders, man.
Borders. That's right. You know, so I
Same
was
with
in that
Berjaya.
outlet. Yeah,
Berjaya
I was
Group.
in that outlet.
Berjaya Group, man.
Berjaya. So it was the best, in my humble opinion, it was the best Starbucks because number one, it's a bit quiet, sales not that great, but it's in the bookstore, and so you get to train, right? You get to train your confidence, and like you're not overwhelmed by the sales and everything. So the first thing he came, being in the bookstore, we have a lot of couch in the middle. So he went and find one of the couch, sit down, and I was like, wow, that's weird. Like this guy, like there's no response from him. So the first thing that came to my mind was, so back in the day, I'm not sure about now, guys, don't repeat, was that every barista, you are entitled to claim 2 free beverages from the company. As we call it employee beverage. All right. So I was thinking to myself, say, okay, how about I claim one of the employee beverages and I make a hot Americano? So why did I go for that was because from my experience, I was in like already 3 months, 4 months in Starbucks. So from that, throughout the few moments and time, I realized that a lot of these foreigners, they like Americano. So it was just like a spontaneous thing. Was like, oh, he's a foreigner, office attire, you know, he might enjoy Americano. So I decided to make him a free Americano hot on the spot.
On your own treat, on your own
On my
quota.
own treat, that's right, on my own quota. So I claim the beverage, I keep it into the system, and then once I done the coffee, I bring it over to him. So this was where the magic happens. I bring it over to him, and I say, "Hi, sir," and he look up to me. I say, by the way, this is just a free coffee. It's on me. And then I explain. I say, so I noticed that when you came in, you look very down, and I hope this cup of coffee can at least, you know, bring you up. But don't worry, I said, don't worry, it's free of charge. You know, it's just out of gesture that I would like to bless you with. And the next thing you know, he looked up to me and say, son,
This really made my day.
this really make my day. And he
Well,
said,
who knows, right?
Yeah,
Who knows?
and-
You
and-
just saved a suicidal man.
Yeah, he was like, you know, I just got fired. Like this morning, I just got fired. And the next thing really touches me. He said, you have one of the brightest smile I ever seen.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Oh man, I'm in tears right now. Anyway,
Yeah, man.
so
So
that,
am I, man.
it's like,
So am I.
yeah. So it's like, you know, like you have the brightest smile. Thank you. I leave it down. I'm lost for words. That moment, I'm lost for words. So I put down the cup of coffee. I say, thank you. Please enjoy. I went into what we call the back of house, which is, you know, in every
Yeah.
Starbucks, you have this space for
Staff room,
office
staff
and
room.
where
Yeah.
and storeroom, whatever. So I went to the back of house and I cried. I cried. That moment, I cried. That moment kind of like, you know, hit me in the sense that, wow, coffee can touches someone's life. Like, it's such a simple beverage. It's just an Americano. Or I mean, like, whatever, you know, you want to do a Frappuccino, you do a mocha, latte, cappuccino, whatever. It's just a cup of coffee. And I don't know this guy, and I don't know his background. And it's just a simple gesture of like, just enjoy. Just enjoy. It's on me, right? It's just enjoy. So that moment on, I give a tagline to myself, and that is barista for life.
Yeah.
Right, you know, so that continued to be the very pillar that I really hold on to, and which is, you know, I would like to continue, you know, to use coffee as a medium to make connections, to create possibility, you know, and like you, Dennis, you know, because of coffee, we have both met each other, we have gone through a lot of things, you know, we have seen ups and downs of both each other's side. So yeah, that's a little bit of story background.
I think that story really inspired a lot of barista. I will encourage a lot of baristas to, in terms of hospitality. I think in my personal opinion, that is something really lack of nowadays. I have some coffee that of course, I went to some nice cafes that they are served well. I also went to some other cafes that are served by introverts. They don't
Yeah.
talk to you.
Yep.
They don't even look eye to eye.
Yep.
They don't even ask questions. They just
agree.
try to run away and pass the time.
I agree.
So I hope that this story really encourage all the people and inspire the hospitality
I agree. You see,
barista in the world.
to make it up to that point, right? It's
Yeah.
very interesting in the sense that this is from my experience of doing wholesale. So I've been doing wholesale for the past 6 years, both from my ex company and my current company. So one thing I realized is that there's a big difference. Why I give credit in the beginning of the podcast to Starbucks was that, you know, Starbucks has a lot of this training. The thing with that I realized to a lot of cafes or small SME or restaurant owners is that most of the time as a SME or as a small cafe, you are, as an owner, you are so busy with sustaining yourself,
Yeah.
with sustaining the business. So when you talk about sustaining business, you're, as an entrepreneur or as a cafe owner, you put a lot of emphasis on example marketing, you know, example shooting of a new menu, a new photo for your food, you know, drive in new leads, you know, you want to maintain your deco of your cafe, but you forgot about training of staff.
Fundamental stuff.
Fundamental, not on the, yes, sometimes I do agree that having that training on coffee skill is very important. Able to pour fancy latte art, able to brew the best cup of coffee, filter coffee, but the fundamental of F&B is hospitality.
Yes.
We are in the hospitality. So I would actually encourage cafe owners to actually take the time to engage trainers that build the soft skills. You know, being able to have that example, attention to details, courtesy, you see, being able to be aware and sensitive of your customer's environment, you know, to provide that dining experience is what we should be focusing on. I believe with that, when you focus on dining experience, you actually indirectly you enhance your coffee skills as well, because by having that focus for the customers to have a better cup of coffee, I, as a barista, will ensure I have the knowledge to brew the best cup, to have you to enjoy the best experience, right? But if I focus on the coffee side of things, I would neglect your experience, because I will, in a way, hope you would enjoy the coffee as how I want you to do it. And in most cases, that's not what we've seen in the market, right? People are kind of like, don't give me sour coffee, right? You know, don't give me, you know, the story. So I had a very interesting conversation last night. This just happened legitly last night. I was at a friend place. You know, I haven't been there for a couple of months. So I went up there. It's at Bangsa Shopping Center. Went up, get a couple of drinks, and then got connected through a beverage to another mutual friend. So we were having this talk, and he was like, so Mike, you know, like, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm in the coffee industry, you know, and he's in finance. By the way, he's Malaysian, but he has a PR in London and he works in the UK. So anyway, you know, having this conversation, he's back just for a short holiday, and he was like, you know what, Mike? I love coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. Okay, in Italy, I drink 6 espresso. But when I come back to Malaysia, I always go for my mama coffee. I like my ikat tepi kopi peng. I like my teh si. I like my champeng. I don't want to wait 20 minutes for my cup of coffee to be served. You see, I don't want to pay 16 ringgit and you are telling me the farmer's name, the farmer's son's name, how big is the farm,
The fruit juice name, man.
How is the train, how is the coffee being processed? He was like,
Tasting notes and stuff.
He literally used the words, and in most of the time, you have all the tasting notes on the menu and stuff. He was like, you know, I'm an educated person. I can read. Don't have to tell me the file. I can read for myself. I just want to pay. You get my cup of coffee. It's consistent. It's good. It's fast. I just want to get out. So, of course, that only applies, in my opinion, that applies to the majority of the people. Yes, there are coffee lovers that would like to have a more detailed experience, right? Where I want to know the farm, right? I want to know, is your coffee fair trade, you know, ethically sourced. But in my opinion and experience in the coffee industry, that market is still very niche in Malaysia. We're referring to Malaysia. So overall, the general market still want a coffee that that is consistent, and most important is the dining experience. If I were to take 20 minutes to brew a cup of coffee, that's wrong, right? You know.
Yeah, I also I think I have my take on that. I personally I do not think there's bad coffee.
Agree.
I don't think so. For example, people like talking about how bad the Starbucks coffee tastes like. This is a lot of sugar. I don't think so, man. Because there's always market for a coffee like that,
I agree.
flavored or Starbucks. Eventually, I have to give credit to Starbucks as well. When I was started to make my own first coffee, right, beside Nescafe,
Yep.
also another very good big company, also a household brand.
Yep.
I started making coffee, grinding coffee beans from Starbucks. That's how I
Understand.
know, because it's so easy to access.
It's accessible, right?
Yeah,
In every of the
accessible, man.
stores they have beans retailed over at
25
the rack.
ringgit. I still
Yeah.
remember the time, 25 ringgit, seasonal blend, 40 ringgit.
Yeah.
I started from there as well, man. There's nothing wrong. I don't think so. And there's nothing wrong by drinking local coffee. I still drink. I
Same
still.
here.
No sugar. That's all I ask.
I
man.
still drink my kopi peng, and so I travel a lot, right? As salesperson, so we spend a lot of time on the road. Later I'm actually heading to Kedah. We're gonna have
Today?
a coffee sharing today.
Today?
Afternoon. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, guys. If you are listening to this, check out Kedah MIND. Okay, My Coffee
MIND,
Roastery MIND. Give them a shout out right here, so you can follow them on social media. Anyway, we are doing this coffee sharing and cupping sessions together with them. So I travel a lot, right? And most of the time, in major highways and expressway, you don't have access to your
Specialty
flat
coffee.
white and whatever single origin espresso. So what do I do, right? I would just Petronas, Shell, petrol station, kiosk, get down, get myself a couple of cans of Nescafe, Nestle, Gold, whatever, original, mocha, anything. As long as it's caffeine.
Caffeine.
As long as it's caffeine, I just want to get the job done. That's it. Let's go.
For me, I always go for kopi o kosong, man.
Kopi o kosong. Yeah,
That's
without the
my-
sugar.
Yeah, no sugar. I love it bitter. I love it like margarine taste. I love it how oily, how silky it is.
Nice.
That's all, man. If let's say I switch place with your friends, right,
Yep.
who works in London,
Yep.
I would say this: flat white latte, cappuccino, espresso. Right? It's worldwide, man.
Yeah, man.
Worldwide. But what about our local coffee?
Yes.
Is it worldwide? I don't think so, man.
Yes.
Ichong, is it worldwide?
No.
They do OEM to a lot of China market, but I don't think it's served in London in general accessible
Yes.
places.
Yes.
So if I come back if let's say I work abroad
Yes.
for a long time, I come
Yes.
back. Of course, I want my
yeah.
kopi, man. Let's do it, man. Kopi si
Yeah.
kosong. Let's do it, man.
Then
Kopi tarik. But I still drink TSC. I love
Understand?
TSC. I
All
still
right.
drink.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
so-
all right. There you go.
To me, let's talk about my root, Let's not forget about root.
Yes.
I started my first cup of coffee probably at 6, 7 by my grandma,
All right.
in Ipoh. Super aromatic, but if you drink it, it's very bitter.
Yeah.
I always started like that. And then right now we are in this coffee business,
Yes.
talking about how good quality got the coffee, traders, tasting notes and all this, fair trade and stuff.
Yes.
I can never forget about where I started from.
Understand. I think you made a great point, which is this was also something that I was sharing with a lot of people lately. So is that people and most young baristas, they often along the journey of growing and becoming a better person, they forget how they started the journey, right? They forget how they started the journey of being a barista. What was the moment, right, that touches their heart? What was that coffee? In fact, I feel that at least we should be able to share like the first coffee that really touches you. If you are able to do that, wow, it will bring you a long way. Like for me, my first cup of coffee, that what we call the God shot experience.
Okay.
Right.
God shot, they're so old school, man.
Yeah. I don't know whether a lot of young baristas still know how to use the term, right? But my God shot experience was from El Salvador, right? So I was working for a coffee company that started the specialty coffee wave here in Malaysia. This was like 10 years ago. It's by the name
Which
of
one?
RAW.
Raw coffee.
Raw coffee.
OGs, man.
Raw coffee.
Not
Wisma
OG.
Equity, yeah.
Not OGs. OG, singular.
OG. So raw coffee, for those who have heard, shout out to you. We are on the same batch. If you're not, sadly, man, you miss out good time.
You want to tell us about the story of a Raw?
Yeah, man.
What's the origins? Are you the founding team? Like the one of the first batch?
No. I'm not the first batch. I'm not the first batch.
You're
Yeah,
the
I'm not first batch.
third and whatever.
I think I'm
Towards
like
the end
fourth,
of the chapter
right?
of
I'm
raw
like
coffee,
fourth.
right?
Yeah. I think so before me was this manager. I forgot what's her name. You know her as well. It's a Malay.
Aisha.
Aisha. Yeah. Aisha. So Aisha was the third batch. And then before Aisha there's Ijaz. And then Ijaz, there's the first one, Alang.
He just is Soul Sacrifice?
Yeah, Soul Sacrifice. That's right.
He used to work in raw coffee.
He used to work in Raw before he went to Melbourne, and I mean, right now when he came back to Melbourne, he started in Soul Sacrifice. But
Damn, I didn't know, man. I know him
OG,
like
sir. Ijaz is OG. So my gut shot experience was served by Ijaz.
Then he went to Collective as a roaster or artisan.
Artisan roast. Yeah,
Damn,
that's right.
I didn't
He's
know he was
OG,
like
man.
starting
My
one of the
gosh,
starting
he's
team.
been,
Man.
he's been around, man. He's like almost similar as me, like 10 years, 11 years, 12 years in the industry. He's crazy guy. Yeah, very humble, very cool guy. Probably you should get him on the podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, I should, man. I should.
that's it,
Maybe.
yeah.
A long time I never quit in touch. Like
Hey.
last time I used to work in like RGB Coffee, right? He used to always come over at Lepak and drink coffee,
Yes.
espresso.
He's
and
nice
all
guy,
this.
very nice guy. I love him. I love to talk to him. I like to pick his brain on like some of the concepts of roasting and how he want to portray the coffee, because my gut shot experience was from him, which is
Oh, see.
El Salvador Finca La Feni. So it's roasted by my current wife, actually, my not then girlfriend, now current wife, Susan. Susan was
Yeah.
the roaster. So anyway, so that was my experience, and I remember why it structured me to actually go and dive into the science of really understanding how the coffee can be better by using different style of brewing, different mechanics, different recipe, different machines. I love how from the previous episode you share on like coffee machines.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
dude.
crazy. That was, for the listeners right here, you should go and listen to that. How different machine affects your flavor.
Let me ask you one question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not sure whether you were in the same like style of making coffee.
All right.
When you started, when you had a first got shot, right? Was the shot like measured?
No. No, that's the irony, right? That's the irony. Right? Okay.
So relatable, man.
you know, like-
relatable.
I often so for the listeners, right? Even until now, I've been searching high and low for that coffee or for that experience, and I couldn't find it. Like
it
now,
wasn't
I
measured.
couldn't.
You cannot repeat.
Yeah,
Because
and
to me, like first, let me ask you why first. Let me ask you why.
yeah.
Why? Let me tell you why I asked that question.
Okay.
Because usually got shot, right? During that period of time, 2010, around that era,
Yes.
nobody used scale, man.
Yes.
Everyone just shooting blind,
Yes.
shooting in the dark room, man.
Yes.
And then suddenly you got the god shot and with
Yes.
tiger stripes coming down and
Yes.
stuff. That's what people describe as god shot. I mean, and the taste is balanced. Taste is balanced. That's why I asked you,
Yeah.
do you measure the shot with the coffee scale or not?
No.
Obviously, it's not.
no.
Because same goes to me,
Yeah,
man.
no. And sometimes I don't know. It's just in my theory. Like I kind of like thinking, is it due that we are unable to search for that experience again, for the very thing that we became better at making coffee, right?
Yeah.
Like we understand better, and thus we lost the fun of it.
Yeah.
Everything becomes so systematic that we
So engineered.
yeah, it's so engineered, right? That we lost that human touch, right? That process of like searching for that tiger stripe, that flow rate, that color, that blonde,
The crema thickness.
the crema thickness, the freshness of the bean, like really that human touch. I just feel like I don't know, but that's me. And by the way, I still make my coffee without scales. Still using the OG. I when I do training for clients for wholesale,
Yes.
I will bring in scale as the topic for consistency. But for my own coffee, I just don't use scale.
I think most of the commercial environment, they do not use scale. They just use based on, after they calibrated the first few shots with scales, right? And then they kind of know like how many seconds, they just adjust it from there.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think me and you last time, obviously, you used to work in raw.
Yeah.
Raw coffee is the first generation, and then Then they closed down eventually
Yes,
for
yes.
almost a year.
Yes.
Then they opened RGB Coffee.
Yes. That's
I would not say the same owner, right? It's
Yep.
not the same owner.
So
Partly same.
Partly same.
Partly
yeah,
same.
Partly same. Yep.
So that's where I joined.
Yes.
That's how we
Connected.
relatable.
Yeah.
relatable.
That's right,
Because
that's right.
that
we
time
share the same philosophy and the same vision.
So
yeah.
mine is much more like other generation, the later generation. Yours is much more pioneer generation.
Understand.
So and I heard your names before during
Wow,
the time.
thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
from Aisha, from I think you know Han as well, right?
Yes, Han.
Han, yeah.
It's great.
So-
Oh my god, I never heard his name for such a long time. Oh my gosh.
forgot about him
I don't know
also?
whether Han, are you listening to this? You know, we gotta meet up for coffee, man. Oh my gosh. I never heard. Yeah, I never.
I think
heard
the
his
last
name
I
for a long
met
time.
him, I just bumped into him.
Okay,
Like
okay.
in Awesome Canteen.
All
That was
right.
2 years plus ago, man. Before that, it was probably like 6 years, 5 years,
Oh.
never met him.
Oh.
Happened by chance.
All right,
By the
all
way, Han is the one who brought me into RGB Coffee.
Okay.
And
okay.
how I met him,
Okay.
I met him, he was my senior in Espresso Lab. After he, because
Yes.
Raw closed
Yes,
at the
yes,
time. So
yes.
he
So
jumped
he went
into
to Espresso Lab.
Espresso
That's
Lab.
right.
Yeah, that's how I met
that's
him.
right.
Yeah.
Empire Subang, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Empire Subang.
Yeah, there
Empire
you go.
Subang.
There you go. There you go.
Then
There you
he
go.
quit, and I met him while he's doing some wholesale thing
Yep.
with RGB Coffee.
Yep.
Then he told me, "Hey, I need people, man. Come join me, man. Come
Oh,
join."
gosh.
Oh, right. That time I was like thinking, should I fucking quit this job, like part time,
Okay.
because I feel like I'm stuck in the loop.
Understand.
I was stuck in the loop.
Understand.
I'm not sure whether I should discontinue or should I continue. Then I met him.
Understand.
Met
So
him.
so it was that crossroad that you suddenly
man.
found something a
Yeah,
new
man.
journey, right?
I
New
mean
direction.
that loop, like I wanted to quit for quite some time.
Understand.
Because I'm not too sure whether this what will bring me. And I only know that a lot of it takes a lot of my time.
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday, probably 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day.
And the pay is low.
Not to mention low, man. I don't fucking
Oh
need
my
to pay.
gosh, bro.
I don't fucking need to pay, man.
you know, this is a mindset.
It's so low. I don't even fucking
Yeah,
need it.
this is a mindset that some people may take it very wrongly, but this is a mindset that I always share with a lot of young coffee lovers and
Yeah.
barista that are in the industry is
Yeah.
that we must be very clear why are we in the coffee industry? What do we want to achieve? For ourselves in the industry. What do I mean is that social media right now has made accessible to a lot of people where people are showing their lifestyle, okay, including the top 1%, right?
That's right.
So with that being said, right, a lot of these young baristas, they are very eager to be successful. No wrong in that.
Nothing wrong, man.
Yeah, but the mindset of what I'm trying to share is that if you want to be in the coffee industry, please don't expect to drive a BMW. Right. I mean, I use BMW as like a benchmark, like a
Benchmark
tool,
for luxury.
right? For luxury, like, okay, if you want to, because in order to own a BMW, you must be able to maintain it. You must be able to pay the fees of maintaining it, the petrol that comes with it, the journey of, wear
whole
and
thing,
tear.
the whole package.
Yeah, so in order to do that, your income must be something, right?
Yeah.
So that was the image that, and also the information that I was sharing with a lot of baristas is that, you must be very clear why are you in the industry. Like for myself, I know that I can and I will, hustle and, just to fight for that lifestyle. Who knows, right? 2-3 years, I might actually own a BMW, but that is not my end goal. My end goal is I want to continue to use coffee as a medium to create more opportunity and more awareness, right? That is why I'm very passionate of doing it, despite my peers like earning 2x, 3x of my income. I'm still very fulfilled, right? I'm still very satisfied. Kudos to Raw Coffee, the right concept.
Well, man, yeah. Come back to raw coffee, right? I think you told me their stories before.
Yep.
During the MCO.
Yep.
During MCO, you came over, then you told me the whole stories,
Yes.
whatever you seen
Yep.
from your bare eyes, right?
Yep.
There are also a lot of people asking me this question.
Yep.
I'm not sure whether I'm the right person to answer this. That's why I need you to tell the stories, whatever
Alright,
you know of.
Let's see what we can
Yeah.
say on this podcast.
Don't worry, man.
Let's do it.
Nothing dodgy about this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Everything is ethical.
Yeah, let's not get some bridges burned.
Non-ethical person will not be invited.
Let's go.
Now, There are people asking me that also they joined the industry, about the same era, like 2010s era,
Yeah.
So they asked me, what's the relationship between raw coffee and artisan roastery?
Awesome. I get that questions as well.
Yeah,
most of
man.
the time. So basically, Artisan Roast is a coffee brand that was brought over by Michael Wilson, the founder. He's not Malaysian. He's a Kiwi, but
New Zealander?
New Zealander, and he does a lot of things in his life. All right, he used to be a contractor, sleep in the van and stuff like that. So most of his work life happens in Scotland, Edinburgh. All right, so that was where the first artisan roast started.
Yeah, because I saw in YouTube video that there are artisan roastery
Yes.
people teaching how to make B60 and stuff.
Yes.
So that's why that was probably 8-10 years ago.
Yes.
So
they
it
are
was
like
brought
one of
from
the
there.
yeah. It was brought over by that. Reason being because Michael Wilson got engaged and married to a Malaysian. So Amira is the roaster for Artisan Roast. So when they came back to Malaysia, they decided to start off Artisan Roast in Jalan Ampang. So that was the first one. I forgot what's that name, but in Jalan Ampang,
bungalow name?
Jalan Ampang, there's this cafe. I forgot what's the name already. After that, they took over.
That latte place.
That latte place, there you go. Oh my goodness.
That shows our age, man.
That's good. That really, really, there you go. So that latte place. So it's the same location. So when they opened Artisan Roast, Michael Wilson, it was his first coffee business venture here. And the first thing that came into his picture was it was a disaster. Why? They were doing coffee roasting. They bought the Digirich IR5 all the way from US. Crazy guy. Anyway, they bought the roasting machine, set it up outdoor.
Oh,
So-
damn.
Outdoor, right? Without it's not like there's no glass, right? It's like literally pasar malam style, and then there's only a shade, and you just roast coffee on the spot. So you can do that in the UK, all right, but you can't do it here. And one of the main reasons is because of humidity, right? Malaysian, we are a tropical country. We have higher humidity. Our sun is crazy. It's hot, and suddenly it rains. So doing roasting outdoor is crazy. So what happened is that I think it was like 5-6 months down the road, then they received the invitation to open the
Raw
raw
coffee.
coffee in Wisma Equity.
Yeah.
That's right. So that was how the
What
journey
a
started.
strategic place, man.
Yeah, I love it. Seriously.
Facing
Even until now,
directly-
when I passes by, I kind of like, when I
The
pass
last-
by, and then I'll be like, I hope I can just reopen here, kind of thing.
That lot still empty though.
Yeah, man. I tell you, it's such a
No, let me
such a
describe this
pity, man.
through my perception.
Gosh. Yeah.
Stepping out in front of the front entrance,
Yep.
Twin Towers just right in front of you.
In front.
Just in
Literally,
front.
legit in
You
front.
just cross few
Yes.
lanes,
Yes.
Twin Towers,
Yes.
KLCC just in front of
That's
you.
right.
That's how
Such a great
how
spot.
strategic it is.
Such a great spot. And you have Public Bank, you have
Next to it.
Yeah, next
Next
to
to
it,
building.
you have the Australian Embassy, you have M Bank Group, it's insane. It's the best place ever. So Raw is basically the coffee roasting company for artisan.
All right.
So
Do you say it's the mother of artisan roastery?
I would label it as like a more premium concept, right? Artisan is Artisan Roast is a brand where they serve coffee to the community. So that is the direction, right? The end goal is that there's no proper coffee in TTDI, so let's set up a proper coffee shop that serve the community in TTDI. Why TTDI? Because Michael stays in TTDI. It's that simple. So back to Raw. So Raw is designed to be like a more premium experience. That is where we also have the lever machine from Keys Van
He's
Western.
the Western, man.
Yeah.
The Edro.
The Hydro compressor, I love that
Triplets,
machine.
right?
Triplets. It's the freaking machine, best machine ever. So we have that, and the whole concept is really just to showcase premium coffee experience, right? So when we mention premium, it's not on the beans, but you get to
The
see
whole experience.
Yeah, you get when you come in. I don't know if you remember when the door opens, the
Glass.
first thing that catch your mind is the red
Roaster.
Digirich, right? Is on your right hand side, and then you walk slightly a little bit, like 2 steps in, and then you will see the Hydro. Then this barista was like pulling shots
shots.
and stuff like that.
Lever machine.
And then you kind of like, what's good? And they were like, oh, what do you like to have? And then we have 2 Amphim 2 Amphim Super Barista. So we have 2 Amphim Super Barista on
Super,
counter.
I think Super Scody, right? Super
Kaimano.
Kaimano, Super Kaimano.
Yeah, Super Kaimano. Yeah. So we have 2 Amphim. So one is X single origin, another one is Y single origin. So you kind of like, okay, which single origin that you like to have, and we will serve it according to what you like. And the beans rotate on a daily basis.
Damn.
So the barista
Damn.
early in the morning will go into the rack and just pick what beans they want to serve. It's insane, you know. Like, of course, you can pick
Every
the
day is
beans.
different. Every day is
so
different.
every day is a surprise, and that was how raw was being designed.
And I also heard that raw coffee is one of the first. Is it the first? The first cafe or coffee bar that has a roaster
I
within
think
the premise. Within the premise.
I think during that period, I think it was about the same period where there are other roasters that also
Like Brew
came
and
in,
Bread
like,
and
no, Coffee Family.
oh yeah,
Yeah, so Coffee Family is right now
roasting.
the roasting, and
Or cream.
also I mean the partnership goes into, one is the roastings, another one is Beans Depot. Beans Depot. So both of them used to together, you know, they does and operate Coffee Family. And there are some a little bit up and coming roasters, but you know, their raw was like there, you know, because it's KLCC, right? So everyone that come to KLCC or even come to Malaysia,
You have to go there, man.
everybody just go raw, you know. So it was the hub. It was the hub for good coffee, good specialty coffee experience. And then of course now we can see everyone start blooming and mushrooming across the nation. So thank you, Raw.
Yeah, man. Dude, how long you been spending there? How many years you been spending
I
there?
was with Raw in 1 year. 1 year.
And how do you get to work in raw coffee? You were before that you were in Starbucks.
Well,
right?
I was in Starbucks, that's right.
Yeah.
So I was the opening team for Pavilion KL. So
Starbucks Pavilion KL.
Yeah, Starbucks Pavilion. So Starbucks, they have 2 outlets in Pavilion KL, the one in Bukit Bintang. They have 3rd floor and 6th floor.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I was at 6th floor.
Okay.
I was on the top. So the 3rd floor was the busy one, the 6th floor was more chill. So and that time I was the supervisor. They call it the shift supervisor for that particular outlet. And I was really getting annoyed that, you know, I don't enjoy being in front desk. I don't like paperwork. I don't like to
Oh
send
yeah, you were doing paperwork all the time rather than serving coffee, right?
Yeah, rather than serving coffee. Still young, you know, didn't really appreciate the opportunity as a corporate, right? Anyway, so I happened to have a friend who was a part-time barista who was working together with me.
Okay.
And he loves coffee. He likes to try cafe as well.
Let me guess, Mr. Fu.
No. Mr. Fu, no. Mr. Fu came later in the picture, yeah. So this guy is interesting because he started from Coffee Bean.
I see.
So he was a part-time barista in Coffee Bean and then part-time barista in Starbucks KL, and that's how I get to know him in Berjaya Times Square. So that's how I get to know him. And then when I moved to Pavilion, I pull him into doing Pavilion as well.
I see.
So that's one day where he was like, you know, I was sharing with him my frustration of you know, I wasn't able to meet the KPIs of being a supervisor or a manager. So I was like, you know, I told him that I feel like I still enjoy being a barista because I like to serve coffee, I like to talk, I like to make coffee.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? Recently, me and my girlfriend went to this cafe. It's in front of KLCC. You can go, you can check it out. And the most important thing he say, inside, right, got Lang Lui one, you know. So I'm like, wow, got Lang Lui one. Okay, why this one caught my attention is because from when I was with Starbucks for 5 years, all right, when I resigned, I was with them for 5 years. That 5 years, I rarely seen Chinese girl barista. Okay, because in Berjaya Times Square Starbucks, a lot of them are Malay, all right, and not being racist, it's just saying that rarely,
happened to
rarely
happen.
Chinese will explore this particular industry. Right? Most Chinese, when you graduate, you become designer, you become you know, whatever lawyer firm, accounting. You rarely will be like, I want to be a barista, right? Not like now. Now you have a lot of, you know, both mixed Chinese, Indian, Malay. Everyone has the opportunity to be a good barista. So I was like, wow, got Lang Lui. I want to check it out, right? See, you know, girl barista, Chinese, who is she? And I was like, also at the same time, just to see for myself, like, what's the hype?
Check out the cafe.
Yeah, what's the hype about? So, okay, when I went there together with him, my first experience, when I went there, again, like I said, you go in, you saw this red color machine, and you're like, what the hell is that? Then you saw this barista pulling shots. What the hell is that? But the very thing that caught my attention was they were pouring latte art.
Oh,
So
oh, damn.
5 years, 10 years, actually 15 years ago, Starbucks, you cannot pour latte art.
Okay, I want to ask this
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Are they forbidden or you just.
Forbidden.
Okay.
Okay. And that time, latte art wasn't a norm, but there were some few videos being uploaded on YouTube, okay, by baristas around the world.
Okay.
Dritten Alisa is one of them.
Yeah, the uncle.
Yeah, you know, the guy, if anyone didn't know, go check this out. I know he's a guy that pull a lot of liver machines. Anyway, so he was pouring like heart shape, tulip, and rosetta, right? The leaf shape latte art design. So I was very intrigued because I was like, wow, I would like to learn because I don't understand why I'm also a barista in Starbucks. That guy is a barista, I don't know, from some other country, but why is he able to pour latte art with his coffee? I couldn't pour. And I didn't know that. Oh, of course, now you know, have all the education. We know that, it's the roast level. You need to have crema, right? You cannot be made by an automatic machine, you know. You have to have the right grinder, stuff like that. You have training, milk silkiness, steaming, frothing technique. So, fast forward. And then I saw them pouring latte art and I was like, I want this. Like, instantly, I'm like, I want this. Like, this is the place to be.
You got
Yeah,
triggered.
you know, like, I want this. And, of course, while I was having coffee, there's this girl, Chinese girl, that came in and also caught my attention. So now it's Susan, yeah. So Susan, if you're listening,
damn.
it's no other girl, yeah, it's you. Anyway, she knows it. All right, here we go. So and then I saw Susan came in. I was like, okay, the more motivation I have to quit Starbucks and be part of this. So I quit Starbucks and then I instantly asked Aisha. Aisha was the manager. So I was like, Aisha, you know, like, can I, how
Apply
are
a
you?
job.
You know, like, are you hiring? So they were like, yeah. And to my surprise, Aisha used to work for Starbucks.
Oh, my.
So she kind of know the standard or the level that I can bring to the table, you know. So she was like, yeah, man, it's on board. So I fill up the application form and then next day I hand in my resignation to Starbucks and I joined Raw Coffee.
Oh,
You
man.
know, it's how it begins, you know, and it's crazy, right? Because back then when I make the choice, you know, for everyone information, it was so crazy because the pay that I was getting from Starbucks, I actually took 80%
Pay
pay
cut.
cut to be part of Raw.
Raw.
80% to be part of Raw. I tell you now, you ask any people to do that, it's gonna
I
be
don't think so,
insane.
man. That doesn't
Yeah,
mean you
I
want to
don't
do
think
this
everyone has the courage to. Yeah, again, it comes down to what you want, right? Like how strong your motivation is.
I strongly believe that if you work in a very boring job, you get high pay, you don't feel like your life is fulfilled, then what's the point, right?
Yes,
There's
I
no
agree.
point.
I agree.
But instead, now I got to be honest with you. When I first opened my business, I jumped from my full time into this. Full time was my employment. I jumped into this full time as an employee. I got pay cut, man. Also, I have to set my pay very low.
It's sacrifice, right?
Yeah, that's the sacrifice I have to take.
Yeah.
One.
But I believe it's now worthwhile for you because, like,
I'm still thinking whether it's worth a lot.
Oh gosh! Oh my gosh! Let's make it
thinking-
worthwhile, man. Let's make it
I
worthwhile.
think these doubts have been with me for like longest, like many years, man. I think this will last forever, lah.
Understand,
Yeah,
but
but it's
I would
normal that I
but-
have this
But I
doubt.
would here would like to take this opportunity to give you acknowledgement that, you know, we acknowledge the effort that you are bringing to the table, and, you know, continuously to actually spread more awareness, and, you know, especially on latte art. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of the most feedback that I always see, even on your page, is that a lot of people first latte art experience is from here.
Oh yeah,
Right.
really?
You know, so
Damn.
yeah, I think you got to take credit to yourself. Don't be too harsh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, but self doubt is normal as an entrepreneur. So that's how I grow. That's how I can expand. That's how I avoid mitigate pothole and shitholes.
Understand?
Yeah.
Alright.
So,
Yeah.
but again, come back to the question, right? So if you have pace, of course, pace is important. Pace that you can afford
you
to
have
pay.
to survive.
You have to survive
You have to
with your
survive,
whatever
yeah.
car loans
Yeah.
and mortgage loan, rent,
Yeah.
right? But don't just pay. Don't just chase for pay, man. It will lead nowhere. It will lead you to nowhere.
You would never be enough.
You will never
Yeah.
enough. I think this
You'll never
this
be
really
enough.
this is really correct. This is
Yeah.
what my father told me when I was probably like 6 or 7.
Understand?
Whatever pay you're getting from right now,
Yeah.
until the day you die, it will never be enough.
Yes.
It will never be enough.
It will never be enough.
Yeah.
You know, because when you earn, let's say like you earn X amount of pay, right? Your commitment or lifestyle
Follows.
changes as well.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like it's continuously chasing for the better, but your lifestyle improves, but at the same time your commitment improves as well. And X2, X3.
Your lifestyle change as well.
Yeah,
Your
so-
lifestyle got improved as well. The
Yeah,
food
yeah.
that you eat
You know,
supposed to be
medical
better.
fees, right? Is getting more and so
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a never ending journey really. So setting the priority right on like that's why if we rewind back, right, I was saying that you know if you want to be in the coffee industry, you must have a clear goal.
Yeah.
That what do you want to achieve for yourself, right? What do you want to achieve, and you know really set goals that you would like to have. You know, either you want to be a barista champion, and by being a barista champion, how are you going to use the champion to educate or even bring more value to the community?
Yeah, that's
most
correct.
important.
Totally agree,
right?
man.
Yeah.
So come back to your raw.
Yep.
Yeah. Then you told me that you from raw then you did the raw coffee close down first, and then you fly off to Singapore to work as a barista as well, or which one come first?
I fly off first.
Okay.
That's right. So 1 year
Common
in
man,
Raw,
right, in
Common
Singapore,
man. Yeah, Common man. So Common man Singapore. Hey, shout out. Hey, anyway, so 1 year in Raw, and then I resigned. And then I managed to through a mutual friend. He's not in coffee anymore, but he was working for a cafe in Singapore called 40 Hands.
40 hands.
40 Hands in
Yeah.
Yong Siak Street, but now no longer 40 Hands is not available anymore. So I managed to get an interview with the owner, and I sent in all my resume, and again he was impressed that I know how to pour latte art. So that was the thing that caught his attention. So went for the interview, went to Singapore alone, and then got the job instantly. So I resigned Raw, and then I worked 2 years as the sort of like the earlier batch for Common Man. So Common Man, it was a partnership between 5 Senses Coffee from Australia and 40 Hands in Singapore. So both group coming together to serve and curate this particular company. That's right. So it was a great journey. It was a great experience. I learned a lot. I learned how to be independent, and also I learned how to work in a proper coffee roastery. Because Five
What do you mean
Senses is
proper roastery? Like really busy bar or?
Five Senses is very well established in Australia. They
Okay.
have the full ecosystem. Example, they have a wholesale partner program ongoing. They have machine backup maintenance program available as well. They have the full academy. So when the specialty coffee industry started to boom in Southeast Asia, most roastery in Malaysia or even in Singapore doesn't have the full support or the full system. I mean, we do supply
time,
beans,
during that time, yeah.
we do supply beans, but we actually don't know how to navigate, like how to be a proper
Sales.
sales or manufacturer.
business development.
Yeah, business development. So Five Senses was really strong. So that particular experience actually give me a lot of hands-on experience and really just to learn, like wow, we can actually draft a system like that. Wholesale support and how do we curate a better experience for wholesale, right? So that was how I learned everything. And then I was with Common Man for 2 years, and then my work permit ended. They wanted to continue, but because of family issues, my mom was developing a lot of just age and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, you know what? I need to came back to Malaysia.
And then come back for family.
Yeah, come back for family, and of course that time my girlfriend was, now wife Susan, was in Malaysia as well. So that kind of like pulled me back a little bit. So yeah, resigned and then I came back to KL, and that's how it is.
Like what is the experience working in the Common Man in Singapore? I heard it's like super crazy, right?
It's
Over
crazy,
there?
man. In fact, my highest daily coffee made per day as a barista was in Common Man.
What's the
Right.
number like?
1076 cup. 1076 cup per day.
There was
Right,
like probably
per
like
day.
7 a.m. until like when?
That's 7:30 to 6:30.
All right.
So
So
it's
how many
11 hours.
barista was there?
3,
Just 3 of you. 107.
6, 107. To the point that right, we were using at that time we were at Tiong Bahru Bakery, so it's another I would say bakery outlet that under the Common Man group or Spa Esprit. So Spa Esprit was the main group.
The group, yeah.
So Spa Esprit, and then you have the F&B division. So F&B division is led by 40 Hands, the coffee side. So I was in Tiong Bahru Bakery, and we were using two Mazer, the highest end ones, and then we also have the 3 Group Sinesso MVP over there.
Right.
And with the 3 barista, right, our coffee waiting time was 30 minutes. And one person will do the shot, another person will, he will just put the shot, another person will just focusing on steam milk, and one person will just focus on pouring latte art. Okay, and they have like, Tiong Bahru Bakery have their own people to serve the coffee to the numbers and everything. So our coffee waiting time that we need to call to the cashier so that the cashier can inform the people that you have to wait 30 minutes for your coffee. It's insane, right? 107. So
But 1076 is what was the top one
for me.
Yeah, top one. I
That's
mean,
right. But of course, like that one day, then
that
we
one
couldn't.
day, right?
Yeah, that one day.
But what's the average like over there? 500,
the average
600?
they're doing 500. You know,
That's
500
crazy,
is normal, man.
That's
500 on a
crazy,
daily
man.
basis is normal. 600. But you're talking about when this happened 5 years, 7 years ago. You know, so now Singapore is a bit more saturated. So
in terms of coffee cafes.
in terms of coffee cafes, so you know, you won't get that 700 mark anymore. But averagely, I believe I spoke to a few friends that are still in Singapore doing coffee. They
300 to
can
400?
do 300, 400 easily. You know?
That's still crazy though.
Still better than most cafe here in Malaysia.
Yeah.
I got to give Singapore credit there. Since Singapore, Malaysia, due to a lot of reasons, our ringgit is slightly lower, you know, compared to Singapore. In what sense that in Singapore you just have to pay $5 for a cup of flat white. You know, in Malaysia now average you got to
13.
pay 13 ringgit for a start. And we have the same salary cap, 2,000 ringgit versus 2,000 Sing dollar income owners, right? So that is one of the factor. And the second factor is just population, right?
Yeah.
You know, KL, yes, is populated, but the rest of the state is not.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of factors come into play. That's why average coffee consumption, you are looking at 100 to 200 cups for a busy cafe in KL.
Yeah.
You know, if you do 300, you are considered as
Wow,
one of
that's
the top.
really good, man.
Yeah, you know, like you're one of the top people. Yeah, in KL.
one of
There are a few
awarded-
cafes that do that. There are a few cafes that do that. Yeah, that's right. So, but Singapore, I learned not only like wholesale, you know, I learned about workflow, right? I learned about, especially, this is very important, being disciplined, all right? Being disciplined of what? Despite that 1076, how can you ensure that your first cup tastes exactly throughout 1076?
1000 plus, yeah.
Right, you know, that is the hardest thing because we know that grinder, it will change, the beans will change according to time zones, you know, humidity and stuff. And also during busyness, sometimes you may not be too detail orientated, right? You get lost focus because of the workflow. So the whole process taught me of like, I got to be calm. You know, I got to stay focused, right?
Yeah.
And not to be worried what is happening. And at the same time of delivering 1076, can you also deliver the same standard quality of customer service and hospitality? So that is a challenge, right? You don't want to be like, you know, I'm making coffee and your customer like, hi, can I use the washroom? Shut up, I'm pouring latte art here.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be like, okay, yeah, but and orders are piling up. You get stressed, you know. So you kind of like you gotta maintain your composure and like, oh, it's on. Just hit straight there. It's on the left. Thank you. And then you continue to do your thing.
10 lockers all the time.
Yeah,
man.
you know, like
10 lockers
it's
pending.
insane, you know, like the stress is real and how do you maintain that? So that is such a great opportunity because of that, right? I'm thankful that, you know, I learned a lot and grew a lot as a senior barista and also as a trainer.
I think that is something that money cannot buy.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
experience
100%.
something money cannot buy.
100%.
That is what we are seeking to provide. And it's really difficult for us to provide such experience.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right, man. So what happened if you after that you come back to your family, you know, from Singapore back to KL? I think that is when I first met you through JJ.
Yes.
Through
yes,
JJ.
Yes.
First met you in person.
Yes.
I did not really know that's your cafe at the time.
Understand. So you actually came, I remember.
I just came and then
you actually
because
came,
JJ
that's
sent me
right.
location, then we just
Yeah.
met over there. That's it.
Yeah. So after I came back, long story short, I couldn't find a job, right? With the pay that I was hoping to get and the position that I was hoping to get as well. And back then, I was still a little bit picky on where I submitted my resume to. So none of them landed very well. So with that, I was a bit depressed. I come here to KL, and then I couldn't go back to Singapore anymore because you need a permit, right? So not many companies can actually afford to help you apply a permit. So anyway, I decided to open my own cafe by the encouragement of my family. Thank you. But lesson learned, guys, if you are listening to this, your family members will always want the best for you, but don't simply open a cafe or a business, all right? It's a risk. You got to really know what you're getting
The
your hands
cafe
in.
name was
Alpha Brew Coffee.
Yeah.
So ABC.
ABC.
Yeah, the ABC. So Alpha Brew, why Alpha Brew? I name it Alpha Brew because I'm a Christian. So Alpha in the Bible means the first, right? So it sounded like the first brewing coffee. You want to be the Alpha of brewing coffee. So I opened my shop in Cheras C180, Balakong, Cheras. So yeah, 2 years. It was a really great learning experience. It humbles me a lot, So, but then again, if you ask me, do I regret doing that? 50-50. If given an opportunity, I wouldn't want to do it. But by having that experience, it actually made me to a better person.
Yeah, to make you who you are right now.
So, and that 2 years experience actually assisted me in my wholesale, where, when I approach wholesale, I can give solutions because I used to be a cafe owner myself, right? And you kind of know what the cafe owner expected. So yeah, 50-50. But yeah, Alpha Brew Coffee.
Yeah, man. Then after that, then you jump up into, obviously you jump up into a sales
Yes.
as a wholesale.
That's right.
And then now looking back to your cafe opening experience, right? What do you advise for people who wants to do these kind of steps?
My advice is
What
first
did you
thing-
take? What did you take kind of lesson?
Yes. The first thing is I never did well, and I would highly encourage everyone to have this in mind if you are considering to open your own cafe is please get a info deck. Or
What's that?
I call it in Chinese, right? If you allow me to say
course,
this on
man.
podcast, it's called 创业计划书.
Okay.
Your proposal.
Plan.
A plan,
Yeah,
a proposal,
business plan,
a business plan. Get your business plan right. What information should be in the business plan? Example, how long are you going to operate this business? Why it has to exist? How much capital you need? Do you want to get the capital from yourself, from your relative, or you're going to get a loan from the bank, or are you going to source from investors?
Yep.
And if you source from investor, how long are you going to pay back? What is the sales projection for that particular area? All right. Do your research thoroughly. Put all the information inside before you actually start the business. It's very important. Why? Because this deck, and which is what I didn't did back then, it will help you to have your end goal. Because when you have the deck, it means you know what is going to happen after a certain point of time in the business. Example, 6 months, what do you want to achieve? All right, you need to have an average coffee sales up already. You need to have a program up already. If you want to have food, all right, what is the food that you'll be serving? And a lot of people will say, but I don't know how to start. It's very simple. Just go to Pinterest, right? Just go social media. Any concept of food plating that you like, you take a photo, you print screen it, whatever it is, and then you put it in the deck so that you have a direction to work to. You see, and a lot of people I notice is that yes, you can. A lot of people maybe you can write or even design a business proposal, but most business proposal are not the business proposal. Right, a lot of people still doesn't know how to do a deck. Okay, so I feel that it's a good opportunity for someone if you can have at least a 15 to 20 page deck that consists all this information. It shows you are ready. All right, if you can't even get past 10 pages of deck, you need at least to think twice of like, is this something that you really want to do it?
Yeah. What's your take on this? I got this statement a lot of time.
Yeah.
Someday when I want to learn this coffee, someday I want to open cafe. What's your take on that, man?
I believe
general?
everyone has that dream of owning your space, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong to be.
Yeah.
I do agree. Everyone deserves an opportunity to own your own space, and coffee is easy to do it to be delivered because you just the entry barrier is so low. You just need to get a machine, a grinder, and you can do business already, right? So everyone deserves to have the opportunity to do that. But again, like I said, if you want to do it, even though it's a coffee kiosk, or even nowadays we notice
Pop-up and stuff.
pop up in your house, right? A lot of housing pop-up style start popping around the different communities as well. Like in my house, so I stay in Cheras. In front of my house, there's already a house pop-up style. Where they use the parking availability, so it's landed. They use the parking spot to just do the kiosk, and people just come and dine and hang, have a good time. Yeah, it's great. But then again, if you apply that into the business proposal, how long can you do that, right?
Exactly.
And how long can it sustain, right? And also, why we need to have the business plan, because this is the second advice I would recommend to everybody that's listening to this podcast. If you have intention to open a cafe, please don't do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point, man.
Yeah, don't do it yourself. You need to have a team.
That the problem is most of people would think, oh, I love coffee. I want to open a cafe. So I can make my coffee every day so I can run away my problems. I don't think that's the work, man.
I think if you do that as a hobby, then it's a better execution plan, right? Like
you do it weekends or do it not full time, it's fine, man.
Yes.
But most of cafe owners, I don't think they make coffee and serve coffee.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Occasionally, probably yes, just to find out what's on the market.
Yes, you got to be hands-on from time to time. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree with some of the barista point of view where it's sometimes the owner themselves. It's better for them to be on shift, maybe like 4-5 hours.
Yeah.
The owner can. So this is an experience that I learned in Common Man. So back then, one of the co-founder, he's left already. He's called Harry Grover. So Harry, every Sunday or weekends, he will make sure and ensure he will come to the cafe and work bar.
Surf bar.
For 4 hours at least, the peak period for. So meaning he will be in charge of pulling the shots. And the reason of doing that is not to maintain his coffee skill, but is to be in operation, where he will see the whole cafe and he will
Workflow
lead.
and stuff, yeah.
He will lead, like give directions.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, the floor staff, you got to be quick.
Improvement.
Right, like, okay, the queue, can we serve water to the queue? Like, okay, guys, like the kitchen is getting slow. While the kitchen is getting slow, can we serve like a free filter coffee first? So he's leading the operation. He's leading the team. But what I meant by don't get yourself hands-on is you cannot be there 24/7. You got to be busy with expanding the business.
Scaling up.
Scaling
Paperwork,
up,
paying salaries,
you got
stuff.
to improve marketing, right? You got to improve on the directions, and you got to meet new people. Maybe you want to get a pop-up, you want to do events, so that you can spread even more awareness, reach out to more people. And usually, as an owner, you are responsible to provide that platform to your team members. And this is where the challenge lies, you see, which is a lot of people will always feedback to me that, oh, I just want to own a cafe, hire a couple of barista, and that's it. I'm happy boy, I can sustain their life. Yes, from that point of view, okay, there's no wrong in that particular statement, but it shows that you are selfish, right? You're selfish. From what I mean by selfish is, as an owner, our responsibility is not only to the business, but also to the people that believe in us and work with us. And they too will have commitment piling up. They too,
responsibilities for family and stuff.
Families, they too would like to maybe go to travel, holiday, and they need money, right? And as a business owner, our role is to create even more platform or to expand the company platform so that we allow them to climb up into top management and to get the lifestyle that they want, right? So this is where I will encourage a lot of cafe owners. That's why you need to have the proposal. You need to know when are you going to scale, and if a business are unable to scale, higher chance that business is a very risky business.
Fail the plans, plan to fail, man.
So yeah.
Also I have my take on this, right?
Yep.
There are a lot of misunderstanding. I love coffee. So that's why I learned coffee. I love coffee. That's why I opened a cafe. That is not necessarily the case. You love coffee, you can make coffee at home.
Yes.
But not necessarily you need to open up. I have all this commitment just to make coffee for people, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I love watching TV. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean I have to
You have
learn
do
how
the
to
TV business.
fucking learn how to build.
yeah, you got to design another
Yeah.
panoramic.
I don't fucking need to build another TV. That's my point. I love movie.
I love cars. You know, I should probably do like a Toyota. You know,
Tesla.
Tesla. but I and one thing I feel
Some
I
yes,
feel proud.
some have
Yeah.
a mindset aligned.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
some are really proud
Yes,
of them,
yes,
right?
yes,
but
yes,
most
yes,
of them
yes.
have to consider about this. You love coffee. Sometimes it's best someone make coffee
Yes.
for you.
Yes, yes.
It's not necessary you need to operate a
Yes.
cafe business.
Yes.
That most of the time that doesn't work. That's the problem. If you think thoroughly,
Yes.
if it works, it's good.
Yes.
Happy
But
for
bro,
you,
I also want to say that I also feel proud that a lot of people that once they get the first touch of the coffee industry, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I mean they want to open a cafe, but this also shows that why coffee industry is the best industry ever.
yeah.
Because we can really influence people through this simple tiny beverage. Like I always tell a lot of people is that I'm sorry to all the people that I'm gonna say later, and that is the accountants, right? You don't see accountant sitting down with another accountant and say,
Talk about numbers.
how's your P&L, bro? You know, like, let me share with you, you know, like, what did I did with my P&L? You know, here's the calculator, you know, like, let me go through the numbers with you. You don't see that happen. But with coffee, you see, you kind of like, bro, how was the geisha? You know, like, how do you do it well? You know, like, hey, bro, you know, do you like this particular Guatemala, you know, San Jose, you know, like this, like,
This
elevation,
grinder, the espresso
you know?
machine.
Yeah, like, do you try the SSP burr, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's insane, you know? So I felt that the coffee industry is so amazing because every day we get to curate such an experience and influence, right?
Yeah.
People. You see, it has so much of positivity, right? But we need to know what is our end goal. We need to have a clear mind on the topic. Then we are able to sustain ourselves in the industry.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I totally agree, man. So I think coffee has brought me a lot of blessing as well,
Yeah.
you know, but it just happened to have, I put it this way, coffee is one of the theme for me.
Yeah.
One of the theme. Let's say I treat coffee the same way I treat, let's say I do gardening, right? I believe I'll have the same blessing as well.
Super awesome.
Yeah. So to the listeners or whoever, although if you don't drink coffee, although you are not into coffee business, you have whatever that you're doing, do it passionately, man.
Yes, man. Agree.
Do it passionately. Do it. Put 10 years.
Go for it.
Put 10 years on it. See what happens.
10 years, bro.
10 years, man. Not 10
10 years.
minutes. How about 10 seconds, Dennis?
I'm gonna do the 30-second, right? The espresso calibration style, you know. 30 seconds and I'm done. That's it, you know. No way.
That is the main mindset issue. They want it now. They want it yesterday. They want it yesterday. Why you not prepare me for me yesterday?
Let's go. There you go.
Yeah,
There you
man.
go.
So-
all right.
Anything, if you think, including accounting, including whatever, gardening, including whatever you're doing, coffee, tea, whatever.
Yes.
Put 10 years in it, man.
I agree.
Some blessings coming to you. A lot of blessings
agree.
come to you.
I agree.
Spread the knowledge. That's all.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
And constantly seek information and do networking so that you can get yourself informed with the right information. You see, it doesn't matter if it's coffee related or, you know, government related. You need to know some of the policies that are in place, taxation as well. So get yourself informed. I will highly recommend everyone that, you know, if you like to be part of the coffee industry, you can start by joining a few associations or coffee groups.
Yep.
All right, mingle with the people, mingle with the barista. You know, ask for opinion. If you doesn't know or unaware of how to do it, you can always reach out to some of the mentors or even like influence people or even an academy, right? That people that already has knowledge on the matter and grind until you have a right business proposal plan. And then only you start your
Yeah,
own
go get part-time job or something
Yeah.
first, man. If let's say,
100%.
oh, I have to work so long, it's so
100%.
tiring. then probably this is not the thing for you.
In fact, I would encourage anyone that would like to be a cafe owner. This is to listeners that if you haven't have any experience in the industry, do give yourself 6 months. I always tell a lot of people, give yourself 6 months. If you are shy to work in a cafe because you are not sure of the training system, man, just go for Starbucks, right? Starbucks, they know how to train people. Give yourself 6 months in Starbucks. Learn the trade of a barista. Learn what it means by deployment map. Workflow efficiency, learn about FIFO, first in, first out, you know, the importance of cleanliness of the bar,
hygiene and
make
stuff,
eye contact, taking orders,
hospitality,
learn, you know, and once you learn the skill, you can then decide where do you want to go.
Absolutely, man. So don't go in blindly, but because there are so many things you do not try, you have not tried, so you're not aware of, you do not know. Maybe this is not the thing for you. Maybe if you work for 12 hours, you feel very happy and excited. You feel very life fulfilled and purposeful.
Yes.
Maybe you're in for that. Yeah. All right, cool. Mike, we're in 1 and 10 minutes mark.
Oh my gosh. We have talked that long, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh. It's always talkative with coffee, really. Oh my goodness.
I know you really enjoy the conversation. And I really like the way that you share, and you hope you don't hold any bar from behind. You always like to share whatever in your mind.
Thank you.
And spread the positive vibes. That's I really appreciate as my friend, man.
Thank you for having me always, man. Really,
all right.
Really
before we wrap things up, anything you want to share?
Oh, definitely like, tag, and share. Barista Experience Academy, as well as the podcast or the sharing. All right. It's not easy, and I would definitely recommend. Why I definitely recommend this is because it requires a lot of passion and dedication to do this. So shout out to you, Dennis, for doing this.
Thanks,
really.
man.
Yeah, so you deserve all the credits. And to all people, if you like to know more about the coffee industry, you can either check out JWC. I would like to give a shout out to my company so that, let's put the name out there. www.justonecoffee.com, JUSTWANT, justonecoffee.com.
I'll put the link below.
Yeah, and also, most important, welcome to the coffee industry. We are here to assist in any way we can. Don't forget, a cup of coffee a day keeps the negativity away.
That's right, man.
There you go.
And don't forget to go out and give it a try. Don't be afraid of dark. There's no problem,
Amen.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks for listening
Thank
to
you.
The Coffee and the Company. And also thank you, Michael, for sharing
Thank you for having
all this goodness. Thanks for wrapping up. Take care, everyone.
All right. See you on the flip side. Bye.